Hey RATBAGGERS, it's Jade today, going over, yes, a duplication glitch. There's one doing the rounds. It's been available for a few days, but every YouTuber seems to be jumping on it. And of course, I'm no different. But I'm also going to talk about the hotfix that went live last night that again supposedly fixes a bunch of issues. Has it really done that though? Let's dive into stuff. So Obsidian have set up now a Grounded 2 bug forum. So things obviously will be a little bit better placed. You can troll through these and see if anyone else has got the same issue, rather than maybe clogging up more of the bug discussion or putting in a support ticket yourself. Now it does look like there's been a combination of things happening. Xbox had some issues over the last couple of days apparently, and even though there was a hotfix last night, there are still issues that haven't been resolved. So late last night there was a hotfix. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty cooked after working so many videos the last few days. But it was just a hotfix. Resolved an issue that caused players to crash when the Founders Pack equipped. I told you guys how to maybe resolve that anyway yesterday, but hopefully you won't have any more issues. Addressed an issue that could fix AI pathing behaviour. I'm pretty sure that might relate to the wolf spider. A lot of you guys were saying it was janky, the legs were weird. Due to an unintended issue, the orc bee by the blueberry bush should now move back to its intended location. Now, this is the second time they've said this is fixed. I think the first time they actually meant to say it should be fixed for anyone about to attempt to do that quest, but anyone that had the problem may have still had issues. And the problem, or the way to resolve it that I'd seen, was that you go all the way, far away as you can in another corner of the map, and then come back down and hopefully it will render in. But supposedly it should now be fixed. Various stability enhancements have been made, including improvements to the process of sending your buggy home. And that's pretty much it for this actually official word. But there seems to have been still some issues to do with the Signal and Stashes quest. Head to either one of these ominous markers with the goal of reaching the Burgle statue. Once you've entered the statue, the quest will update with new objectives, allowing you to continue the available story content. However, this means that you won't be able to actually finish that quest. You're going to miss out on a bit of raw science, but you can still go ahead and kill any of the orc bugs if they do appear and pick up any loot that's there. This is not really much of a big deal, so this might be the way to actually fix that problem. That relates to finding a Candies and orc kind of guarding them underneath the backpack close to the fire pit. Some of you guys had said that you'd actually found some of the orc creatures roaming a little bit further away from the backpack, not in the tunnel underneath it, and that was the way that you killed it. And there are lots of orc creatures around the fire pit, but they're not the same. I don't think it counts for the cockroaches. I think it's all weavers you have to deal with. Also, it does look like the berry patch is a similar story. If you complete the story and you've done lots of other stuff, but you just basically skipped the berry quest, then you may not be able to go ahead and do it. You have to start up a new save. Again, there's not really much reward there. I don't think it really unlocks anything, especially if you've done the rest of the story, but that's something else to bear in mind. And I told you guys to delete some of your saves if you've been having regular crashing in the game or you can't save anymore. And that was because some of you said you had like hundreds of saves. Well, apparently the limit for each individual save, so in each individual playthrough, really should be less than 10. And they've said this is why they think this might be something to do with it, that they're not seeing their latest saves. So you really maybe cut down on all the manual saves that you've got currently in your world if you're seeing performance issues and more. And yeah, I'm just going to repeat, any issues with some of the orc quests not necessarily working, then head over to the Burgle statue locations, pretty much the ominous laboratories, and hopefully that will trigger it. And yes, they know about the weird look to the snails. Loads of people have been posting it. You've been posting it in my Discord as well. I mean, it's not the world's worst issue when you look at everything else that's going on. So I'm sure that'll be patched in future. And be warned, you guys might have noticed that one of the large rocks outside the ranger station that you first played the game in has actually got a lot lower, meaning if you built your base on it, it's kind of floating. While that is a bit of an issue, you can still just correct it by building a basement. But they have warned the devs that that may happen again. They may need to adjust certain things, so you may find sometimes your bases are in a little bit odd position. The one good thing to note is that in the far future, they are going to have the base movement thing. I don't know how it's actually going to work. By looks of things though, it will be able to go ahead and save your whole base and be able to just go ahead and put the blueprint somewhere else. So yeah, you're going to have to just deal with it if it happens with the ground moving. It did happen a couple times in Grounded 1. And while it sucks having to make adjustments, it's kind of the least of the issues with progression blockers or not being able to play the game. And I'm going to say it, I think a week on, these kinds of issues maybe shouldn't be happening. I get maybe some progression blockers as long as you can carry on doing other stuff, but to have these issues for nearly a week is kind of sucky and still not really fully resolved, and not to mention some of the crashes we've seen. Some of it may be attributed to, like I said, to Xbox, but yeah, it's still not a good look. The bonus is though, Obsidian were really good at resolving this in Grounded 1, and let's hope Eidos and Obsidian together can get back on it. It is an early access title. I expect there to be issues with things like glitches and not being able to see creatures or being under the map, or maybe animations not being right. Also, yep, losing weapons and gear sometimes. The bare minimum for any game for me, even early access, is that you can actually play it without it crashing reliably. And while I expect wipes sometimes in early access games, not due to just bugs. Now there is a workaround like Chris showed off there for the progress, but they really do need to make sure that the crashing stops really soon. And yeah, that's my limit. Anything else I'm not really that bothered by. I'm sure they're going to resolve stuff like being able to maybe peep things like alt cards, and hopefully there'll be a way to get maybe some of the unique weapons back if you somehow lost them. One thing I see or had noted as well, that if you had lost some progress in a save, try turning off crossplay. Someone else had said that had actually worked for them. Shout out to Cooked Shrimp for alerting me to this duplication glitch. He basically told me how to do it, and then I asked if anyone else had actually covered it, and lo and behold, there is someone.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm going to be showing you how to do this duplication glitch. It is very... My God! What?
So as far as I know, Gush was the first person to show this method off in a video form. Looks like he's got another duplication glitch, especially for maybe grass planks and stuff. So go and check his channel out. He's not got a huge amount of videos or been that reliable or irregular, but maybe he'll start off now with some success with this one, as it's doing good numbers on his shorts as well. Always got to get proper credit to people. You'll find a link to his channel in the comment section down below. And of course, to be fair, lots of places have also had this shown up. In fact, a few days ago, someone was mentioning how they managed to duplicate or found out they duplicated an item on the sewer of the internet, that is Reddit. Now, before we get some angry commenters, oh, why are you showing duplication glitches? That's going to ruin the game. The state that Grounded 2 is in at the moment, with all the issues a week on from its launch, I don't begrudge anyone trying to recatch up a little bit or give themselves a bit of a treat. Seen so many reports of players saying they've actually lost some of their most valuable weapons due to bugs and glitches. And at the end of the day, this is a single player or co-op game. There's no PvP element into it, so you're never going to get an advantage across another player. Might risk balking your game, so always do these things with some risk. Make sure you save properly. And you never know what might happen in the future with the devs maybe trying to nerf this. And add to that Grounded still haven't really come up with a decent way, at the moment at least, for multiple people to have the same kind of weapon or trinket. We obviously had the super duper in Grounded 1, and that might come back in Grounded 2, I'm sure. But for now, it's still kind of annoying that only one of you can have one of the special orc weapons. And yeah, I'm sure in the future they'll have the ability to dupe stuff. Like actually legit, it was a mechanic in the game that you could unlock. But for now, this method does only work with weapons that you can hold in your hand. No shields, no armor, no consumables. Except bombs, anything that you can throw like flares and stuff. Now you might be able to do this without a buggy, but looks likely it's the easiest way with it. And pretty much just make sure you've got your weapon equipped inside your actual hand. Hop onto your buggy, then go into your inventory menu and simply click and hold X to drop the item that's in your inventory menu. You'll see the weapon, in this case the bow, on the floor, but you'll also still have one in your hand. And if you want to dupe more than one item a bit more quicker, you just do this multiple times. Keep jumping on your buggy, go ahead and then drop the actual item onto the floor, drop off your buggy, jump back on, and you should always have a weapon still in your hand or inside your inventory. Now, something can go wrong with this if you don't actually get rid of the weapon that's inside your inventory before saving the game and loading it back up. You'll find that all the stuff on the floor is actually just disappeared. So for example, showing you guys here, I've already got a bow still in my hand, and that's the one that I've been obviously duping. I'll go ahead and save and then load the game again, and you can see they've all disappeared. That's the crucial bit, so don't mess this up. When you've duped however many items it is that you want, before you go ahead and save your game, just make sure you've actually taken the weapon out of your hand and put it inside a chest. The game then recognises that you've got a weapon in the chest, and then it will also save the state of the weapons on the floor. Whereas previously, if you don't do that, it just considers that you've dropped a weapon and all your weapons are part of the same one. So yeah, you can dupe multiple times, and again, shout out to Cooked Shrimp for that one. Obviously, Gush did a great job showing it off anyway with just a single weapon, but you can spawn in multiple. And it works with things like bombs as well. Same principle, just go ahead and make sure that when you've dropped a bunch of stuff on the floor by getting on and off your buggy, that you go and deposit the very original one inside a chest, so you've got nothing in your inventory before saving and then loading up the game. If you do want to get a lot of resources, well, go ahead and just make a lot of the bombs and then go and just smash a bunch of grass blades and stems up. That'll be the quickest way, rather than trying to dupe singular stems or grass pieces in your hand. If you do want to get a lot of resources, well, go ahead and just make a lot of the bombs and then go and just smash a bunch of grass blades and stems up. That'll be the quickest way, rather than trying to dupe singular stems or grass pieces in your hand. And there we go, the good and the bad and the cheaty. Fingers crossed it'll be a bit more stable. Hopefully they're going to have PTBs. I haven't actually seen them mention it in the future, and that stands for public test branches, where we can opt in, help them out, try stuff out, and hopefully relieve or resolve a bunch of these bugs before everyone gets access to the updates. As always, I'll be here first to let you know and any issues with the game, so make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you ratbags later.